Good afternoon. Happy Saturday, everybody. Dustin Starr here with the live reaction coming to you from the beach. How cool is that? Got to watch Memphis Wrestling live from the beach. Anyways, welcome to the live reaction. Let's talk about episode 138. So much stuff happened on 138. I don't even know where to start. From beginning, middle, all the way to the end, the show was absolutely loaded with new stuff. Incredible matches, stories that have you thinking, what is Memphis Wrestling doing? Anyways, once again, I am Dustin Starr coming to you from the beach. I want to talk a little bit of Memphis Wrestling, so go ahead and put your questions and comments down here, and I'll go through those. There were a couple of people in the live chat during the episode that had some stuff they wanted to talk about. Just be easier to talk about it here on the live reaction, so they can go ahead and put those notes in there as well. But I want to remind you that we are live coming up on Sunday, October 29th, live at the WrestleCenter with AEW superstar Prince Nana. And of course, Brandon Cutler from the Young Bucks being the elite. They will be there. You can get your tickets at Memphis Wrestling TV. And then also next Saturday, AEW Collision is live at FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee. You can get your tickets at memphiswrestling.tv or aewtix.com. Memphis Wrestling will be there. It's going to be gosh, what a good time. I know that Jeff Jarrett and Karen Jarrett are going to be in town next week also for media. I spoke to Nigel McGuinness on the Grind City Wrestling podcast just a couple of days ago. He is looking forward to talking to Dave Brown on the call. The legendary Memphis Wrestling broadcaster and weatherman will be on the call on AEW Collision. Get those tickets at aewtix.com or memphiswrestling.tv. Also, next week's my birthday, so should be an interesting episode coming up, especially with what transpired today. So let me get all caught up with some of your comments here. Hello, Willie. Gun Show versus EC3 would be a good match. I totally agree. Steve G, what's going on? He says, great show today. Thank you so much. Rob says, Boz didn't look in the right place for the lanes, but he should have looked in the dumpster. They are there with the other rats. Well, we didn't see Austin and Nikki Lane this week, but I could only imagine that match is coming up very soon, because you can only hide for so long, especially with a brand new matchmaker here in Memphis Wrestling in the legendary King Cobra. You guys can put that stuff in the comments. All right, Cosmic Joe says you got served. What was that about? To be perfectly honest with you, you're right, I did get served. I'm not exactly sure what the circumstances are, or if I can reveal that until it's revealed on the show. But also, I'm not really at liberty to say very much because of the legal ramifications. So it's not the first time that I've been served papers, certainly not the last time. I'm just thankful that it was not my Maria serving me divorce papers. But yeah, got served right there at the desk at the end of the show, and it didn't show on camera. But the Gun Show look on his face was like, what the heck is going on here? And then leaving. I'm sorry, Terrence, that I had to bail on you on that one. Didn't really know what else to do. Lurvy says, hello, Dustin. As I said in the episode chat, Cobra is Memphis Wrestling's first matchmaker in many years since Eddie Marlin, who did it in the 80s and 90s. Okay, so the Eddie Marlin. When I was talking to King Cobra about this, it's funny you brought up Eddie Marlin, because King Cobra brought up Eddie Marlin's name and said just how much of a character he was on Memphis Wrestling for so long, coming out and making the matches. And so King Cobra told me that he was interested in doing that. And so I just thought it was funny that you mentioned Eddie Marlin. King Cobra had mentioned Eddie Marlin, and it is very much an Eddie Marlin role. It's not really a general manager role, even though last night on WWE, they introduced new general managers to their programming, so it all, I guess, worked out. What's up, Ben? How are you? Rob says another instant classic with 2 must-see matches, and those matches weren't really, the one match was not listed on the card. Adam says, hi there, Dustin. What was that paper the lawyer gave you earlier? Is that served papers? Yes, it was. Stay tuned to find out. Steve Carino versus Danny Limelight, says Willie Owen. Where's that going to happen? Rob says, Mike Gold fever got him. Mike has a screw loose, guys. I'm not exactly sure what is wrong with this guy, but he's definitely a couple of crayons short of a full box. Steve says, happy early birthday, Dustin. Thank you. I'm turning 21 again. Lurvy says, who was the mystery man who dropped off a note at your desk during the episode closing? A new manager who wants into Memphis Wrestling or what? All I know right now is it was a lawyer, an attorney serving me papers. My Maria is sitting across from here now, and I already said, thank goodness.
Not those kind of papers.
It wasn't those kind of
This
papers.
time.
She says this time. All right, Andrea says, hi, Dustin. Love you. You're awesome. Thank you, Andrea. Same back to you. Rob says, will King Cobra make it right? Will he give Toomer the title shot? All right, so here's the deal, man. You have two friends, two guys who both have a legitimate gripe for the Memphis Heritage Championship. And then, basically, one of your good friends becomes matchmaker of Memphis Wrestling. You go out to have a clean fight right down the middle, and some reason Mike Anthony snaps and goes ballistic with a steel chair. Don't think that K. Toomer is going to take that too lightly. Ben says the NWA is bringing back the territory system. I would like to hear your thoughts. I think my thoughts on the territory system is that there are not enough consistent bookers, consistent wrestling promotions to really pull that off. If you notice, Dave Marquez tries to do that with the United Wrestling Network, to where you have a different territory each time, like Memphis, and then Louisville, Atlanta. It's very hard to do because of the inconsistency of a lot of the bookers or owners of those companies. So Billy Corgan and the territory system is only going to be as good as those individual owners of those territories. Even if Billy Corgan owns those territories, there has to be somebody locally in place that can handle the day-to-day business, because it is a 24-hour a day, 24/7 job, right, Maria? You can't just start a wrestling, you can't just
We're
own.
literally at the beach right now.
Yeah, I know, we're at the beach. This is my last work that I'm going to do for a minute. But the territory system is going to be good as long as those that he work with is as consistent, as successful as him. That's what I think, Ben. Hopefully that answered your question. Robert said, what happened with Mike Anthony? Rob, it was just in case driving the truck last week. He was in a hurry to get to the buffet. Oh my gosh. Speaking of Eddie Marlin, what about Mr. Coffee? Mr. Coffee was very, very cool for many, many years. I don't think Mr. Coffee was really a matchmaker. He was an authority figure of sorts. Mackenzie Morgan versus Kenzie Page, says Willie Bowen. Lurvy says Patrick Moore mentioned UWN talent appearing on Memphis Wrestling during the company hiatus until it returns. Is it possible? Okay, Lurvy. Okay, Patrick. If we were to introduce United Wrestling Network stars and fly these guys in, who do we take off of the Memphis Wrestling show? Because that's basically what you have here, is you have 1 hour, which is roughly 46-minute television program. So who do you take off of Memphis Wrestling, bring in from the United Wrestling Network? Andrew says, hi, Dustin. Love Bosby and MKZ together. I hope they shut up and destroy Austin and Nikki Lane. How about you? I cannot wait, because you know there's going to be a rematch. The whole point is to get Austin Lane one-on-one with Tim Bosby with the Internet Championship on the line. The only reason that Nikki and MKZ are involved in this thing is because Nikki has been cheating for every single title defense. Can't wait to see it. Willie says blunt force trauma versus Big Swole and Colton Cage. I don't know if I'm familiar with blunt force trauma. Rob, man, I like MKZ helping with the boss. I love that too. Mark, what's going on? What did you think of Brody's birthday party? Oh, there's some highlights on Memphis Wrestling, and I think on this YouTube Shorts right here on this channel. Mark, it was great to see you. The party was awesome, and I know Brody had the time of his life. Patrick says it might be easier said than done, but since UWN is sort of on a hiatus, maybe you could give some of the wrestlers some paydays during the hiatus. But like I say, who are we going to take off of Memphis Wrestling? And then also keep in mind that any of the talent that has come in from the United Wrestling Network, there's only one reason that happened, because we flew them in and did it. That's the only reason it happened. But I say again, if you're going to bring these guys in, who leaves the show? Because there's not enough time for everybody. Rob says, not enough Memphis wrestling quality promoters to rebuild a wrestling network. There's not, just to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, look around and see all the different promotions that have come and gone. It is very hard. Andrea says, hi, Dustin. How do you feel about Triple H naming Nick Aldis as the new general manager of the WWE Friday Night SmackDown? It's the only time I can remember in recent history that my Maria stopped to watch Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. I loved it. I love Nick Aldis. I love Mickey James. They're great people.
Yeah, I said, I guess his price just went up.
Yeah, she said his booking fee just went up. Yeah, you think? Kinsey Page versus Cassandra Golden, says Sylvester. Cosmic Joe says, would Jim Cornette be welcome in Memphis Wrestling? I've interviewed Jim Cornette many times. I think that Jim Cornette probably does not travel anymore. So it's probably a moot point. But, I mean, if he did travel, I think Jim Cornette can make an appearance in Memphis Wrestling. Maria says, so maybe not. Don't get sunburned, Dustin and Maria. Yeah, you're right. I'm out here in my brand new sleeveless Memphis Wrestling hoodie. Reese the Beast is taking the nap. Steve G says, yes, but to be correct, Mike Anthony did beat Toomer fair and square, but no referee. Okay, Steve G, we'll see about that. We'll see how what Toomer thinks about that. Rob says, Barnabas, the producer, only produces Growins. And I see how you put the extra S on the end of Barnabas. That's pretty good, Rob. Adam says, well, we're talking about Billy. Would you like to work with Billy in NWA Memphis territory in the future? Oh, I mean, that would be pretty interesting. I think that if Billy Corgan was looking for a territory of some kind that was going to be on a very similar, if not better, consistency and growth level, that would definitely be Memphis Wrestling. I mean, we've been consistently doing this stuff for 4 to 5 years at this point. Doing it 100% locally for over 3 years. But what benefit would there be for Memphis Wrestling? I guess that would be the question too. Robert, any hints on who hit Flex with the car? Oh my gosh, I wish. But stay tuned on that. Flex is hurt, but he did not get hit by the truck. Apparently he's got some road rash and messed up his hamstring or something like that. But coming up on Memphis Wrestling, we'll be hearing from Tim and Flex. The show already has 3 hours worth of action in an hour. That's right, Rob. We literally try to cram as much into the show as we possibly can. Patrick says, Dustin, I didn't think of that. Yeah, so that's the thing. A little inside story. Kay Toomer came to me and said, hey, what about bringing this guy in? I said, okay, well, who do we unbook? And he said, what do you mean? Can't book everybody. So what do we do? Oh, Lamb's liking the glasses. Here we go. Yeah, we've been driving pretty much all morning to get here. Big John Dalton in the house. What's up, Dalton? Rob, Lurvy. I wish Barnes would disappear for a while and return with a new circus faction. Come on, Barney, get with the show. Where are your evil clowns, acrobats, and freaks? Yeah, man, he's not really... He said the circus is closed, Lurvy. The circus is closed. He's got to get back on his feet. I think the problem is he was living paycheck to paycheck working for the circus. So now he's looking for a job. King Cobra just got hired. Why didn't Barnabas apply for that job? Ferris says, I'm beautiful with sunglasses, Maria. Thank you. Ferris? Rob says, where's Cassandra? The ladies division misses her. Stay tuned. Cassandra joined us at a recent taping. Robert says, Dustin, how do you feel about Jeff Jarrett appearing on Memphis Wrestling? If he would commit to a date, we'd have Jeff Jarrett already here on Memphis Wrestling. Lamb says, imagine getting a Memphis Wrestling logo sunburn. Ooh, that'd be like a tattoo, but better. Lurvy says, Nick Aldis, general manager of WWE. I wish he would return to challenge for the NWA World title. He and Billy Corgan had a falling out, unfortunately. I know, and that's a really tough one because Nick Aldis really is that brand in many fans' minds and in my mind as well. When I think of NWA, I think of Nick Aldis. Good for him on SmackDown. Willie says, Dustin, is there any news about the United Wrestling Network tournament for the Ladies Championship? Well, the United Wrestling Network is playing the best of the last 15 years, and there are no live events scheduled. So if it does happen, it would happen in 2024 at this point. Patrick says, would you leave UWN for NWA? I don't know that I have to leave anything, would I? I don't even know if that's a thing. Like, we wouldn't have to.
Yeah, definitely not. Dave Marquez was on both of them.
Yeah, Dave Marquez was on both of those. Why would I have to leave United Wrestling Network to join an NWA? Yeah, Patrick, I don't see, unless I'm missing something. Andrew says, hi, Dustin. How do you feel about Will Ospreay coming to Impact Wrestling, faces Speedball Mike Bailey at Bound for Glory? I think that's awesome. I think somebody needs to sign Will Ospreay so they can keep them all to himself, like AEW or Impact. I want to see more of Will Ospreay. Media M says, you hit the nail on the head. What benefit would Memphis Wrestling gain? Not many think of that. They all think of NWA wrestlers on a brand, but not brand gaining for itself. Well, I mean, we're a brand that's doing very well ourselves. I love the NWA. I've always been a fan of the NWA, and, you know, add to the fact that I'm a fan of Billy Corgan and the Smashing Pumpkins. I mean, I do love what they're doing, but my only concern is that whoever they partner with has to be a consistent booker and keep it going 100% of the time. Cosmic Joe. And I'm not saying who they're partnering with doesn't. I'm just saying it's very hard to find that right now. Cosmic Joe, do you have more AEW or Impact stars coming to Memphis Wrestling? Well, both. So coming up on October the 29th, we have Prince Nana and Brandon Cutler coming to Memphis Wrestling. That is going to be so much fun. Tickets are on sale right now at memphiswrestling.tv. And then November 19th, we have former and possibly future Impact Wrestling World Champion Josh Alexander, the walking weapon. He's coming along with Eric Young. So that's coming up November 19th. And then we're going to make some big announcements coming up on December 10th for the Grind City Rumble. I've already told you that Handsome Jimmy Valiant will be there. And I guess I could go ahead and tell you right now that Warhorse will be in Memphis Wrestling coming up on December 10th for the Grind City Rumble. Rob says, Flex hitting the road would definitely cost a rat, especially jumping from a car. Out of the way of a car. Media M, Dustin, your hair still looks perfect. I must know your hair secrets. I won't settle for something about Mary. So you've asked that before, huh? It's a big yellow spray can. It's called Got to Be Glued. Kevin Martin, how are you doing, Dustin? This is Kevin Martin from Brinkley, Arkansas. Great show. What made you get up and leave before the show wrapped up? What Terrence said. Well, that was actually a lawyer, not a divorce lawyer, but a lawyer that has served me some papers, and I cannot say a whole lot about it, but coming up in Memphis Wrestling, you're going to see this play out. Wasn't happy about it. Teddy said, who won the Heritage Championship? Go back and watch that. What's up, Madison Blue? Willie just answered the question for Teddy. Rob, a circus could always use a carny. Well, if there's something, Barnabas definitely is. It's a carny. Steve G says, I think Memphis Wrestling has much stronger foundation right now than NWA is currently. I think NWA seems like they are doing big things. So I don't want to compare the two, but we definitely have a very strong foundation at this point. Bo says, why does Mike Anthony have to ruin a good thing? I know. We talked about these two guys being world tag team champions in Memphis Wrestling. Andrea says, hey, Dustin, how do you feel about AEW stars Brandon Cutler and Prince Nana and Impact Wrestling stars Josh Alexander and Eric Young coming to Memphis Wrestling? I am super excited about it. Hopefully we sell every single ticket just like we did for the Halloween Spooktacular, and just wait. That show is not going to disappoint anybody. Rob says, I hope Nick still wrestles some, maybe a grudge match. He's talented to only be a booker. Yes, I agree. I think Nick Aldis, that's the good thing about him, is anytime he needs to take the suit off, he still looks great and he can still work in the ring. Larry says, it seems Memphis Wrestling is the UWN, consistency in the episodes and talent. It's all about the consistency. If you do not have a product, there's nothing to put out there. But if you at least have a bad product, at least you're putting something out there every single week. Lamb says, how is the weather, by the way? Here in Germany, we had English weather with a lot of rain and cold temperature. It is beautiful out here at the beach. Beautiful. And as soon as I get finished talking to you guys, I'm going to be out there with my Maria. Hopefully chasing her around. Hopefully she's not running from me. How about that?
I think there are shells at the end of the island.
Ooh, I think Maria found shells, everybody. Media M5. When I was a part of NWA Smokey, the booking thing was an issue. The booking thing was an issue. What's the booking thing, Media M? Please remind me. Patrick, I don't know if it's true, but I've always heard there's beef between NWA and UWN. Yeah, but look, just because Dave Marquez has beef doesn't mean that I've got beef. I've had people from NWA. I've had Nick Aldis come. Camille has come. Mickey James has come. I mean, the list really does go on and on. But yeah, there's no beef right there at all.
And also, I heard a lot of things.
Yeah, we hear a lot of things too, guys. Don't believe everything that you hear. Go ahead and put your latest rumors in here, and me and Maria, especially Maria, will handle those. Dave Walker says, looks better weather where you guys are at here in Southwest Indiana. It's 50s and cloudy. Wow. Yeah, it's definitely been 50 and cloudy. I'm going to have a t-shirt tan here. What musical groups do you and Maria like to listen to? Who have we gone to see? We've gone to see everybody live. Jeez. Who would we say our favorites are?
Live? I think Kenny Chesney was pretty good.
Yeah, Kenny Chesney was awesome. Yeah, we'll go with Kenny Chesney.
But also,
We did not like Florida Georgia Line
we
live.
did not, but this is a different band. They don't get along with each other. We had just gotten engaged.
Oh,
56.
yes. Dang.
Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper was awesome. He was more of a costume wardrobe changer and stuff.
He was fucking great.
He was great. Patrick says he loves Warhorse. Me too. Handsome Jimmy, does he still try to sell guys in the biz his auto? Yes, he does. You have to pay to come into his wrestling school, even if you're one of the wrestlers. Lurvy, Josh Alexander, out to reclaim Impact World Champion. He could win it for a second time. Lurvy, if he does, he's bringing it to Memphis. Do I look at WOW? Yes, I see WOW. Big congratulations to Simone Cherie, who was on our show as CC Chanel. She is the world champion. Got to be glued. Got to get some of that. Probably don't use enough. Got to get the hairspray. Big John Dalton says he's ready for the Grind City Rumble. Andrea says, great show today. I'm so happy that Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso are undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions. I'm a big fan of anything that Cody does. I like Jey as well. Hard work running a promotion as the same as every independent produced TV show, getting sponsors and keeping them happy. It is really tough, Rob. What's up, Justice? How are you? But watching
Just because we're out of town, I got more cameras. Nobody better try.
Rob says, but watching Maria run. Oh my. Yeah, that's probably. I would watch Maria run. What's up, Burry? How are you? Do you have tag teams left that DK and Ray Ray can defend? I think he's saying that while you're running, you're bouncing.
Oh. I think you should worry about chasing Reese more than you should worry about chasing
I
me.
will. What's up, Abby? How are you? The booking consistency to be NWA territory. Well, what I mean is you have to have a product consistently. You have to have live events consistently, or what does that territory provide? You know, yeah. I'll just leave it at that. Rob says Big John Dalton, Grind City future champ. Cloudy, some rain in Vancouver, British Columbia. Would you consider Jason Kincaid on the brand if possible? Jason Kincaid. Who is Jason Kincaid? Who's Jason Kincaid? Same thing in Brooklyn. Alice Cooper's a great show. Oh man, it was not really about the music in my eyes. I don't have a favorite Alice Cooper song, honestly. He did get his own head chopped off on the concert, though.
Yeah, I think his theatrics was really good.
Yeah.
Damn, why can I not remember that band? It was
Breaking
their
the law. Is he
final
breaking the
tour.
law? Oh,
Their
it's
final tour.
Poison?
No.
I've seen Bret Michaels live. He was great. Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. What's up, Dog Walker David?
You
Alice
also
Cooper.
really liked Uncle Cracker.
Uncle Cracker is great, yeah. How about Riho in the Rumble? Riho. Mark, you're just trying to get me to book Riho.
And you and Danny.
Primus. Primus
okay.
was good.
So I used to be the marketing director at Landers Center, so we went to a lot of concerts.
A lot of them. Media M5, yes, all true. Product consistency, Smokey busted its ass under Thorpe era. Cruiserweight, New Japan. Has his head tattooed as well. Handsome Jimmy has a tattoo right across his forehead here. It's pretty cool. Love all the live events. Nice way to display the talent to a larger audience. Judas Priest breaking the law. Look at me. Breaking the law. He said Judas Priest. Jason Kincaid and UWN. Judas Priest. Kincaid. Yeah, Kincaid works for the Golden State Warriors. Does Jimmy still smell like garlic and other herbs? Probably other herbs, yes. I would imagine so. Handsome Jimbo from Mimpo. But anyways, that's all the time I got for you. If you guys have any other questions or comments or have any questions about stories or whatever, go ahead and put those in the comments there. And even if I'm not live, I try to go back and respond to those. Thanks for watching Memphis Wrestling. What a great episode this was. Next week, I believe, will be week 1 of our Halloween taping. Now, October the 27th and 28th, that's Friday, Saturday, is when the Halloween Spooktacular will premiere. So there's one more week before that happens. AEW Collision is live at FedEx Forum coming up next Saturday. I want to see you guys there. When I think of music from Memphis, Tennessee, Stax Records comes to mind. Oh, yeah. And also Hope Claiborne should definitely come to mind now. She rocked it out last week. Cosmic Joe, thank you. Enjoy your day. Destiny 4X merch coming up or back. Are you talking about in the WrestleCenter Media M? Because we could always order you 4Xs, or you can get those at prowrestlingtees.com/Memphis Wrestling. Lurvy says, have a good day, Dustin Maria. See you next week. Looking forward to it, Lurvy. Thank you so much. Enjoy the sun. See you next week. Steve, you have a great one too, man. Andrea, thank you so much. All right, everybody. I will see you guys next week right here on this YouTube channel, if not before then. Kayla, I really appreciate it. PWT, if the merch can't make it down, just let me know. Send me a direct message. I am Dustin Starr, and I'll see you at bell time. Oh, yeah. Is it hard to be a promoter? I've always wanted to be one. Don't do it. Don't do it, Patrick. It's awesome, but it sucks.